Okay, it's Len here from Len and Art Motorcycle Maintenance again. So we're making progress with removing and refitting this tyre. The old tyre's off. I have cleaned the wheel. In this case, the bike's only a year or two old. The wheel's in very good condition. I managed to clean it just with soap. But if the old residue didn't come off with soap, I could use something more abrasive, WD-40, brake cleaner, wire brush, etc, etc. But in this case, that's not really necessary. So I've cleaned the wheel all the way around on this side, flipped the wheel all the way around on this side, and you want to make sure that the wheel is spotlessly clean before you put the new tyre on, so that the tyre can bead properly and so it can seal for the longest amount of time. So the cleaning of the wheel's done. The other thing we're going to do is remove the old balance weights. These, in this case, it's stick-on balance weights, so I'm using my valve cutting pliers. This end is good for the removal of the old balance weights, stick-on ones. You can tease them just away from the wheel without doing any cosmetic damage. And later on we'll spend a wee bit more time getting the old residue of glue off, etc, etc. So that's grand. I'm also going to make sure that the sticker is off. It's a pet hate of mine, seeing people rolling along the road still with the sticker on the tyre, so get rid of that. Stick the stuff in the bin. So when I was at the Michelin factory in Clermont-Ferrand, France, the Michelin tyre technicians suggest that you soak the tyre and the wheel. Now, a lot of people I know who fit tyres just do the tyre, but because Michelin told me do the tyre and the wheel, I do the tyre and the wheel. It does make a bit of a mess, but I think it does help, and if Michelin say it's good, then who am I to argue? So I've soaked the wheel, now I'm going to soak the tyre. The tyre soak helps the tyre slip or pop onto the bead more easily. It does actually help with the sealing slightly. Sole purpose is not a sealant, but it does help with the sealing. So it's got more than one job. So I'm soaping the bead inside and out. Turning the tyre over, I'm doing the same again, soaping the bead inside and out. We've already checked that the tyre is the right tyre, the right speed rating, the right load rating, the right size, the right make and model. In this case, a Michelin Road 5, the bike has a Michelin Road 5 on the front, it's a good matched pair, etc, etc. So we made all those checks before we started the job. Okay, so now the tyre is soaked, the wheel is soaked. Some tyres have got a balance dot. Michelin tyres don't have a balance dot, but if you did have a balance dot, you'd line that up adjacent to the valve. Michelin don't use that system, but we do need to pay attention to the direction of rotation. So we're looking on the sidewall for a direction of rotation. Lovely, yeah. And as it sits on the bike, I am looking at the left hand side of the wheel, which would be the sprocket side. That would be the right hand side of the wheel, which is the non-drive side. So in this case, that's the correct direction of rotation. If that wasn't right, you can flip the tyre, or if you had a balance on, you can flip the wheel. So when we were removing the tyre, we were using the demount head, and the tyre was coming up and off. Now we're fitting the tyre, it's going on and down. So we'll bring the demount head back in against the rim. The direction of rotation is correct. So the tyre is going on and down about 45 degrees, and the bead of the tyre, we're aiming to get that in this drop centre of the wheel, this narrow section here. This section is 17 inch diameter, this will be less than 17 inch, so that makes the tyre less tight when it's going on. So that's what we're aiming for, it's going on and down. So where the tyre is meeting the rim, we just push that. Where it's meeting the rim, push it. Where it's meeting the rim, I push that. Where it's meeting the rim, push that. It'll get to a point where maybe you can't push it anymore. So I can use some assistance from the tyre machine in that regard. Okay, that's our first bead on. And the same for the second bead. it's going on and down at 45 degrees, like so. So we're feeding the bead of the tyre down into the well of the wheel. Where the tyre is meeting the rim, push that down. Where the tyre is meeting the rim, push that down. Where the tyre is meeting the rim, push that down. So the bead of the tyre, we're trying to feed into the well of the wheel as far round as we can. So where the tyre is meeting the rim, push that down and on. The bottom side of the bead from where we are looking, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to pull that up so that that bead is also in the well of the wheel. Lovely. So now I'll use a little bit of rotation in the machine. So I'm pushing the tyre down into the well, catching the bottom side, pulling it up into the well. So I'm checking all the way around the top side that the tyre is sitting in the well. I'm feeling all the way around the bottom side that the tyre is sitting into the well. And the tyre is now on. So I can get the D-mount head out of the way. If we had a balance stop, we could then now rotate the tyre so the balance stop would align. Michelin don't use the balance stop system, so that's fine. So now I can just grab the weight of the wheel, remove the clamp, put those clamps in so that they don't get in the way. And in the next video, we will be inflating, popping onto the bead and cleaning up. Okay, see you soon.